What's up, everybody? Tyler Rogan with Powerwash Academy. Today we are brightening an aggregate pool deck. I'm gonna be using Rust Remover Plus to get this job done. Come back here and check out what we're working with. So this pool deck's got a little age to it. It's starting to turn a little dingy and brownish, and we wanted to brighten this up for the customer. So we are going to apply our Rust Remover Plus, putting it down 2 to 1. Did a little test spot here and here to see what we can anticipate as far as the results go. It's gonna brighten it up well. So I'm looking forward to making this pool deck look much better for the customers. I've already got my chemicals mixed up. I'm going to get a couple other things ready on my machine and start laying it down. What we're gonna be doing to rinse, we don't really require a whole lot of pressure for this type of work. So we are gonna be using a deluxe unit, puts out 5.5 gallons a minute. Won't be needing the heat today. I'm just gonna be using a basic pump up sprayer from Home Depot. I find them to be pretty economical and dependable. If you rinse them out pretty well after you're done with them, they'll last quite a while. Generally, we get about 5 to 6 months out of them until certain weak spots on the pump start to fail. So I'll show you those and you'll be seeing me spray the chemical down with those, but pretty basic today. Gonna use a power washer to rinse, gonna use a pump up sprayer to lay it down. I will be using a J-rod low pressure tip to be doing the rinsing. I don't really wanna splash this product up as I'm rinsing, so I'm gonna be using a lower pressure tip just to move the volume of water and move the chemical, residual chemical off of the surface. And we did already surface clean this. We were out here a few days ago doing some work for the customer, and we have run a surface cleaner over here to take off any buildup of dirt or algae growth on the surface so that our chemical can get down in there and do what it needs to do. And I am using a fan tip on this so that I can have a little crisper edge. A lot of the time when I'm applying SH or something with one of these type of sprayers, I'll use the variable adjustable nozzle. The spray is more of a cone, but I'm trying to stay crisp on these corners, especially around the pool area, because around the edge, they've got natural stone and we don't want to discolor that. So I'm using this fan tip so I got a pretty crispy edge. Get an idea of my flow. And if you're using a pump up sprayer, you're gonna be pumping this thing up quite a bit. You wanna be consistent when you're laying down the chemical. Once the pressure drops in the tank, it's not spraying out the way it was in the beginning, so that can cause some variations in the surface, as far as you've got a lot of the chemical real thick on one spot. Once my pressure died, it was spraying out less, or it's not spraying the pattern that I wanted it to. So you'll see me pumping this container quite a bit. Okay, right now I'm just taking a look to see if I feel like I've got even coverage. When you're spraying with this, you may pass over one little spot a little quicker than others. And so if I'm noticing any spots that are drier, or if I notice a spot that may be a little bit darker, I may go ahead and apply one more time and just make sure that it is as saturated as we'd like for it to be. And right now, since we've got a little bit of wind, it's gonna dry up a little quicker than it typically would. So I am just applying a little bit more of a mist on here just to make sure it stays damp. And I see a couple little spots on here that I think still have a little bit of algae growth, so I may run my surface cleaner over it just to ensure. I don't see it anywhere else other than a couple little spots right over here. And it may not have been noticeable when they were power washing last time, when everything was totally wet. Sometimes it's a little harder to see whenever it's not dried up. So some of these areas that are a little bit darker, I am just waiting for them to blend in to the areas that are lightening up. And we will give it enough dwell time to do its job, and I'll come through and do a rinse. If I notice a few spots after we're done rinsing, I can come back and just do a light spot treatment on those areas and rinse those away. And since I am noticing a little bit of dark patch from algae growth on the surface that didn't get washed away completely, next time I'm gonna come through, rinse everything off, get all the chemical off of the surface, and then I'll run my surface cleaner over it. I wanna run my surface cleaner after I've rinsed it, because if there's a little bit of splash up from underneath the skirt of the surface cleaner, I don't want it getting on, you know, the metal at the bottom of the door, or getting on the brick, causing any more work for us. So I'm gonna give this just another minute or so, and I'm gonna come through and do a rinse. Then I'll hook up that surface cleaner, and then we'll move on to the next square. Whenever I'm doing a driveway or a patio or something like that, I would like to do a whole square at a time. I'm not a big fan of spot treating anything. There's a high likelihood that that spot that you treated is going to be brighter than the area surrounding it. And so that being said, I like to go ahead, find a seam in the concrete, and then I'll do that entire seam at one time, and that will ensure that I get a better end result. Okay, I'm gonna start my rinse by rinsing the bricks on the house first and letting it push that water down. I'll leave this upside down. I'm gonna power wash out the skirt so that the water flows out of it. If you end up getting a bunch of leaves and hair and all that stuck in there, it can really slow your surface cleaning down if the water doesn't flow out of there correctly. A spray bar gets up underneath, or the spray bar under there gets caught up in a puddle of water and it just can't spin as fast as it wants to. Okay, I'm gonna pull my hose back up out of the way. I know it's going through that flower bed, so it's gonna have some mud stuck to it. So I'm gonna get it all out of the way and clean up my mess. Okay, I think our job is about done here. I'll have to use my wand and rinse these steps on the way out, but I think I'm ready to show the customer how it looks. All right, there it is. Another successful job with Power Wash Academy. Thanks again for watching with us, guys. I'm gonna show you some before and afters of the process, and you can make your own judgment, but I think it turned out great. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you appreciate what you see it on the channel, please drop a comment down, like the channel, and subscribe to the channel. We'll let you know when another video comes out. And once again, thanks for watching with us.